This video is a response to Jeff's The Dark Reality Behind CSGO Part 1. I'm planning on mentioning things that he hasn't, and I expect that you have the background knowledge from that video, so if you haven't yet, please watch that video before you watch this one. First, I felt conflicted about making this video. The weight of this topic is huge, and ever since I started playing the game, it's been there lurking in the shadows. Who would have known that it was going to become this big? Who would have known that it won't get any more regulated than it was back then? Who would have known that the scandals along the year would mean nothing? Who would have known that it would change countless people's lives, for the better or for worse? So you're probably wondering, who's this guy? Why should I listen to what he's saying? Why shouldn't I listen to my favorite streamer, use their code on this website, and try my luck to achieve my dream inventory? Hi, hello, I'm Mon, or to be a bit more personal, my name is Dominic. I started playing Counter-Strike around 2014-2015. I was not a big CS player before Global Offensive. I was not part of the beta. I wasn't even playing the game before skins were a thing. Before CS, I haven't spent any money on virtual products. I haven't spent any money on any type of gambling in real life, which should be a normal thing because kids shouldn't do that. I remember the first time I played CSGO. I just changed from COD and everything was different. The movement, the shooting, the aiming, the customization, or the lack of, or so I thought. I was so used to working for the skins for my guns. I was desperately trying to find out how I can spice up my game, and when I first saw a skin in someone else's hands, I was just as desperate to find out how they got it and how I could get one. After playing as much as I could, it finally happened. I got my first fully random drop. I don't remember the exact skin, but I remember that it was scuffed, brown, and probably was worth 3 cents. First I was really happy. I got my first drop. Back in the day, the drops were random. You couldn't just level up and get one every week. Then I was trying to find out if it was rare or just some common skin. And my third thought was, it has a condition. Will it become more scuffed if I use it? Can I use it without messing it up? I don't want my first and only skin to disappear because I played with it for a few hours. Of course, it didn't take much time until I saw better skins, but the pinnacle of customization, at least for me, were the knives. The knife skins with different animations. Couldn't even describe how cool they were. Sadly, I quickly realized that as a high school student without work and without a debit card, I had no way of buying one. Not to mention that they seemed really expensive just for some virtual items. And so it began. It started with a simple search. How to get CSGO skins for free. After some looking around, I found out that the only way was getting in-game drops, which were random and not good looking skins 99.9% of the time. Once in a blue moon, people got cool skins like Dragon Lore or Medusa. But there was no chance to get a knife dropped. Then one day I came across this website. They had this jackpot function where you could send your skin to a bot, and when the bot received it, you got put into that jackpot round. After the countdown, there was a little animation like a case opening animation, but with profile pictures instead of items. The more was the value of the skins you deposited, the more you could see yourself going past. And if you were lucky enough, you got a trade offer from the bot containing most of the skins that were in the pot. Not all of them though, because the sites took some for themselves as a fee. This is how the 14-15-year-old me started gambling. With just a few cents. What was the goal? To get some cool skins I couldn't afford. To get a knife, my first ever knife. It didn't take long to find more sites and more types of games. Having an on-site inventory was a game changer. The most common game mode was roulette. You could exchange your skins to coins, play with those, and later if you still had coins, you could exchange them to some skins. But the one that really caught my eyes was coin flip. The little 15-year-old me started doing coin flips with actual skins against actual people. And little by little, somehow I managed to grow my inventory, so I became confident that this is a good working thing and that I have a chance to get a knife, my big dream. Then the unbelievable happened. Starting with just 1.5 euros, 3 days later I was a proud owner of a field-tested flip knife Boreal Forest. And then the following day I was not. Do you know why? Because I wanted some more. It felt so good. I finally got a knife. A dream came true. But it wasn't my favorite one. So if it worked so far, why shouldn't I wager my knife to get a better knife? Because I could lose it, which I did. That wasn't too big of a problem. I still had an inventory that had the same value as the knife for 5 more minutes. Then back to square one. Empty inventory, no knife, no few cents. Later on, I could score a few euros again using free Steam games and Steam trading cards. I had 3 euros worth of skins, so I thought, why not go back to the same site and do what I could do with less before. I did the unthinkable. Started with 3 euros and the next day I was already playing with a Minimalware Shadow Daggers Boreal Forest. Can you guess what happened after? My inventory became empty. Why? Because it simply wasn't enough. Because it wasn't a bayonet. And if it was a bayonet, I would bet that it wouldn't have been enough if it wasn't a fade. And if it was a fade bayonet, then it wouldn't have been enough because it wasn't an M9 bayonet. Do you see where I'm going? You have to know when to stop. Try telling that to a kid, a teenager. Even if you know when to stop, the chance to get back on the horse the following day, 2 days later, a week later, is really high. It's very high by default, but when you factor in the people advertising it, your favorite streamers winning on stream, your idols doing the same, then it's nearly impossible to stop. I was lucky for one reason. I had no money to spend on it. Everything I gambled was earned for free. When I lost my knife, I told myself, it's not a problem. I only lost 3 euros because I started with that much. Even though I actually lost like 200. I was lucky for not having mommy's credit card, not being able to wager our house, and not putting anything serious on the line, apart from my mental health. Gambling addiction is a serious issue amongst adults, as any other addiction. It's easier for kids to pick it up. Addiction. A compulsive, chronic, physiological need for a habit-forming substance, behavior, or activity having harmful physical, psychological, or social effects, and typically causing well-defined symptoms upon withdrawal of abstinence. So why gamble? I started gambling because I wasn't able to get the skins I wanted to play with. But as I became older and skins started having more and more real-world value, the reason for visiting these sites started to change for me as well. It was less about getting the skin I wanted and more about improving my real-life living situation. Other people have side jobs. I had CSGO gambling. Why specifically CSGO? Regulations. It's not the same as going to the casino. It doesn't feel as real as an online casino. You have a much easier job to convince yourself that what you're doing is not wrong. Why? Because everywhere you look, all you hear is the positives. You can hear how you should gamble, but not that you shouldn't. Compulsive gambling. The uncontrollable urge to keep gambling despite the toll it takes on your life. Gambling to escape problems or relieve feelings of helplessness, guilt, anxiety, or depression. Trying to get back lost money by gambling more, lying to family members or others to hide the extent of your gambling. I would lie to you if I said that I have not experienced any of these. I would lie if I said that free items were the only things that I wagered. I would lie if I said that I didn't think about opening up and coding my own website. I got introduced to this word back then when it wasn't shoved down our throats in every corner of the internet that had something to do with CSGO. It wasn't in 90% of the CSGO videos. It wasn't in 75% of the CSGO streams. These sites didn't have that much traction. There were not as many players. I can't even imagine what the kids go through now, considering what I went through. So why did I feel conflicted making this video? One reason was that I could not accept this problem. I was in the bubble. The other reason was money. Gambling sponsors offer a life-changing amount of money. I would bet that most of the people in our generation are dreaming about owning a house. Just imagine owning a house and only having to pay for your food and utilities. Now imagine how easily you could achieve this with a couple thousand average viewers on YouTube combined with a gambling sponsor. I've had that in the back of my mind that if one day I become a content creator that can consistently put out content and have a fan base, then I could get a sponsorship that would change my life, make my dreams come true. Owning a home, early retirement, doing what I like when I like without worrying about money. But is it really worth it? Ruining other people's lives, filling people's pockets who are operating illegally. For every big winner, there are multiple losers. Awareness, acceptance, integration. Do you know how much time has passed until I got to the acceptance stage? 10 years. Do I feel lucky? In some ways, yes. I could go 10 years without letting gambling ruin my life. Realize that I need to change and take the courage to do something about it. And Jeff's videos played a big part in it. Someone stepping up for the people and trying to break this trap that we're in. If I only helped one person with this video, I've already reached my goal, making it. Don't be scared to ask for help. I hope this video opened your eyes, changed your mind, or helped you in any way. If you agree in this topic, please spread awareness. Keep an eye out for each other, or just ask your friends how they're doing. Thank you for watching. Stay safe.